30. And we're live. Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's nice. This is Karen for One Holistic Community. I don't know why there's noise, but we have with us Goddess Essences, Alchemist, Krisheela Rai. Hi, Krish.
Hello, Jen. Hello, everybody. Kumusta kayo?
Welcome to Creating Space. And today we're going to talk about welcoming abundance expansion with gods and goddesses activation. So, actually, Krish and I have been working with goddesses since last year, and we'll talk about like personal experiences working with goddesses. But ikaw, Krish, diba, like since you were young, since you were a little child, you have been working with goddesses and deities already. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so when I was 8, that's when I realized that I'm really connected with them. So it started with me reading books, encyclopedia, and every time there are stories about the goddesses, I'm just drawn to it, and I don't know why. So one time during the summer, naalala ko, I went up to the grotto of our house. So, meron dong Mama Mary na grotto sa garden. I was on top of that. Umakyat ako doon. Tapos maaraw, pero sobrang lakas ng hangin at the time. Tapos marami akong paper kasi mahilig ako mag-drawing when I was a kid. And then parang naka-feel lang ako na the God of the sun and the goddess of the air is with you. As I breathe, parang naaalala ko na that's what happened. And I was like, okay, God of the sun, God of the air, this is what I was wishing for. So, dun sa paper, nagsusulat ako ng mga wishes. And I was like, what am I gonna do with the paper? And then I just got this message telling me, now, just let it fly away. So, pinalipad ko yung aeroplano and, yung paper airplane na ginawa ko. So, pinalipad ko siya and just I know, okay na yon, it's done. Tapos naalala ko pa nung mga time na yon, wala pa kami masyadong kapitbahay. Like, yung katabi, puro mga forest, ganyan. Tapos on the other side of our house, there's a retreat house na may mga madre. Tapos it's closed at the time. So I've never been there. Even until now, I've never been there. So I didn't know kung saan na napunta yung paper. So anyway, it started there. And I know na I've always been connected with them. But after that incident, since I was brought up in a Catholic and then a Christian upbringing, tinago ko siya because alam mo naman na yung mga limitation, di ba, na bawal yung mga ganyan. And so I was just hiding it. But I've always known I'm connected with them. Pero syempre, yung foundations of creating modalities, energy healing, meditation, syempre before, wala pa siya. It's just that connection. And then, eto na nga, around 2019, I've decided that, okay, I will really be going out there. Like, this is me. Like, I'm a witch. Ganon, like, I'm a practitioner of magic. So when I embrace that path, naging dire-diretso as in yung progression and yung expansion ng mga modalities na pinapractice ko. And then, marami rin akong mentors who also taught me about energy healing, about alchemy. And then, some of my mentors also taught me how can I channel my own systems of Reiki and other energy healing systems, no? So, that's where it started, that I started attuning myself with the gods, with the goddesses. I remember there was one time, in a day isang araw, I got attuned to 10 goddesses all at the same time. And it was at the same time na nagpa-practice din ako ng access bars noon myself. And
Mm.
it was very na parang, oh my God, nangyayari sa katawan ko, I realized, okay, sobrang lakas, sobrang potent pala nila when using this system of goddesses, essences, initiation. It's very potent. And that's why I tell my clients na, kung magtatawag tayo, you're gonna invoke, and you're gonna borrow powers from them. Just do it one day. You think
All the
at the
time.
time, to to also syempre strengthen your connection with one deity muna. Like really get to
Right.
know that deity. Baka mag-work with another one. And the good thing about being backed up by various deities is that meron kasi silang iba't ibang klase ng powers or expertise, so to speak.
Right,
So,
right. It's so interesting actually. Like I've also just started working with you and working with deities just last year. And for me, sometimes the effects are very subtle. Because until later on I realized na, oh my gosh, I'm channeling Goddess Lilith, for example. Like you did mention, oh, you're using red lipstick already, like one time. And that was after Lilith attunement. And then later on, I'd see like I would choose something like this, like something a loud colored dress. Like I would dress up, but usually in greens and blues and nothing very loud. And then I would use it. And then I noticed that the simple things, wearing red lipstick, like for example, dressing up in a
mm,
in loud colors, seem a small thing, but it actually helps with sales, like connecting more to people. Because before, I really wouldn't talk to men. Like there's like so much resistance. But now, like I'm open. Okay, it's just talking, so why not? And I was thinking, oh my gosh. And it's just today that I realized, oh, working with Lilith worked. Like that opened up for me because I got attuned to Lilith. And it's like gradual, gradual, gradual. And yeah, galing.
kasi yung iba, ang iniisip nila, pag attunement, one time lang yon. But actually, it's more than that. Kasi at least with my system, when I initiate you to the energy of the god or the goddess, their energy, their essence will be a part of you. So you can use the energy any way that you want,
Right.
right?
Like my
That's what
partner is asking me like what changed because we're both using the same tools. So we're both access bars facilitator, we both do the body process, both do the foundation. So a lot of the tools we do together. And then there was one time was telling me, you're using something else. This is not one of the tools. And then I realized what's the one thing? Oh, the goddess activations that I'm doing with Krish. And it's really like significant even in the smallest thing, even in relationships, like they will feel that there's something else, like you have a magic potion or something. And yeah, like you said, sometimes it's not like one big thing that you'll win 1 million pesos. It worked for some of your students, right? But sometimes it's a little
you
thing that built up, and then you realize, oh, I'm using this. But I'll have to address that, like, why why go through the goddesses when you can directly go to the source? Because you did mention like for Christians and Catholics, there's like some dissonance with connecting to the goddesses.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, Karen. Kasi when we go to the source, the God source is actually pure consciousness. It just is. And it has no bias. It's neutral. What you put out there is what you're going to receive. Now, deities, they also have consciousness that are closer to us, you know, like
Yeah.
that duality. Mhm. And so these beings, they can communicate with you. Unlike pag si source, it's the observer. It's the great observer of everything.
Right.
And if you also cultivate your relationship with God, ano ba ang sinasabi? God, please help me, but I trust your divine will.
Right.
So si God, who knows everything, hindi mo basta-basta mauutusan yan. Right?
Right.
Hindi mo
Right.
siya basta-basta
Right. Right.
mauutusan. Kasi you can only pray to God. You can pray to
Yeah.
God, ask for something, for forgiveness, all that. Pero when you are working with deities na yung consciousness nila mas malapit sa atin, relatable, kumbaga.
Yeah.
Mas relatable sila sa atin. And they can help us out with so many things. For example, I will give you an example. I have a client who got initiated with Goddess Lilith as well, the light aspect of Lilith, to help her heal. sacral chakra because she has issues with her PCOS, hormonal stuff, whatever. And so when she started working with Goddess Lilith, she felt more confident about her body, about her feminine energy, and all that. So if I ask, for example, God source, please help me become more feminine. What do you think will God do? He will bring to me something, somebody, some event, some opportunity that will help me become more feminine. So meaning all of us are actually players here in this quantum soup of reality. All right?
Right.
So that includes also the deities that we work with kasi sila yung nagbabantay sa atin, di ba? And there are some
Mm.
stuff na minsan nga parang sabi sa akin ng ibang estudyante, minsan nahihiya daw sila mag-pray kay God because they don't want to bother God. Yung may ganun. That's interesting. Feeling nila ang petty lang daw. But I said, still continue to connect with the source, that's fine. But again,
Yeah.
si source, God source, papadalhan ka pa rin niya kasi ng kung sino man yung pwedeng tumulong sa'yo. It could be the
Right.
angels, the seraphims, the guardian angels, the archangels, or even
Yeah.
just, you know, you can
Yeah.
bring those beings. So if you're initiated to deity, there's a direct connection na parang, for example, Karen, friend kita sa Facebook and I know that if I call you in Messenger, you will answer me.
Right. Right.
Diba?
Right. 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 I got it. I
Kasi
got it.
Zuckerberg to call you, I mean, right?
Right, right. Got it, got it. And also, I understand that there's a personality with the deities. Like, I'm so surprised that, for example, um, a deity would talk to me like she's talking to a friend and offering a business deal. You do this, I give you this. And it's like thinking, oh my gosh, it's like they're like human. In a way, like they're kind of like us. Of course, they have higher power, they're more potent and all of that. But sometimes, like some deities, it's transactional for them. Uh,
Yes.
this is
Parang
a
tao.
transaction. Yeah, they're like people also. So it's really interesting. But what I like with you, Krish, is also aside from the deities, usually what we're doing now is you're also harnessing the power of the moon and connect it with the goddess activation. Like, can you tell us more about that? Like for this full moon activation, you're going to connect it to God Zeus.
Yes, yes. So, the full moon is the time for harvest. Yun talaga siya. And the moon reflects every desires, emotional needs that you may have within you. So, during the time of full moon, it's all about, kumbaga, sowing whatever it is that you've left, diba? And
Yeah.
so, another thing is that the moon is also very strong. Kasi, diba, every time full moon, merong high tide. Ganun
Yes.
kasi,
Yes. True.
paano ba tayo humans, we are made up of 70% of water. And
Yeah.
imagine that cycle of the moon really affects us, our moods, lahat. It affects every living thing here in this earth. Kasi without the moon, there's no light during the night. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that. So it's a very strong celestial being, the moon in itself. And when you are aware of the planetary transits, kung anong zodiac tumatapat yung moon, then you can also plan your events, your life accordingly. For example, tayo kasi 'di ba during the full moon, halimbawa full moon in Leo, kunwari lang it's a full moon in Leo so that you know when it's that time, it's time for us to shine, it's time for us to take up a leadership skill or a leadership role. Yung mga ganyan. And also when it comes to haircuts and everything, it's like every time it's a waxing moon in Pisces, swerte magpagupit because the moisture in our hair is good and your hair will grow longer and stronger after that. There are things like in the study of planetary timing using the moon transits. No? So that's another topic altogether. But
Right.
ayan,
Right.
ka-influential, tapos sasamahan mo pa ng god or goddess who is well associated with the zodiac or with the planetary transit at that time. So, sobrang mas malakas siya. And that's why so many people who are practicing high magic, which is also another magic that I practice, they connect with deities through prayers. Ang dami nilang paritual na nire-ready, which is good, by the way. But if you're already initiated through the goddess and god essences system, hindi mo na kailangan ng masyadong maraming ritual. Because the
Right.
ritual
Yeah, yeah.
can
And that's
just
so
connect
cool.
with. Ganun ka.
Right. Ganun ka-powerful. So, this new full moon, we're not going to do attunement. You can go to Krish directly for one-on-one attunement, but what we're going to do is activation. So, we'll harness the full moon and we'll activate your chakra. Krish will activate your chakra to God Zeus. It's very important. It's a very important persona in the goddess essences system, di ba, Krish? Because he's like the god for expansion and abundance. And like you said, it's important to start the year with him.
Yeah. Actually, kasi when I was thinking about who is the god or goddess that I will introduce this full moon, no? January, first full moon of the year. And I got this calling me, God Zeus. Siya yung planetary deity ni Jupiter. Jupiter in astrology represents kung saan tayo lucky, kung saan tayo merong optimism in life, kung saan tayo may mga malalaking opportunities in our life, where we actually naturally receive abundance in our life. So, having said that, si Zeus is also connected to the energy of Jupiter. All right. So
Yeah.
when you are connected to that deity, you're also honoring that I am deserving of abundance. I am deserving of being big. And in the solar system, di ba ang pinakamalaking planet is Jupiter?
Is
Jupiter,
Jupiter.
higher learning, spiritual connection. So, ang ganda talaga kung sisimulan with him.
Yeah. Like, can just imagine, like, also connected to 2024 is the number 8, right? And it's really everybody's saying that it's the year of abundance. Everybody will be fortunate this year. I'll try this. Audios.
Claiming that, no? Claiming that for everybody.
Yeah, so it would be great. And it's always different. Actually, if you go for Crush for one-on-one attunement, that's also fine. But usually it's really high pricey, higher than if it's like a group session. Also, I feel like there's a certain dynamic coming in because there's so many energies coming together during a full
Yeah.
moon ritual, and I feel like all of the energies, even if yes, of course you're facilitating and you're the one connecting us to the gods and the goddesses, but I feel there's an interplay of the energies also coming together for the ritual.
Yeah, kasi 'di ba, I studied different modalities talaga and I also channel my own systems. So they just come naturally all together. Depende kung ano yung kailangan. So it also depends on the energy of the group. Kasi at the moment, kung ano yung kailangan ng collective, yun yung dumadating, yun yung channel. So if I felt like calling, oh, Archangel Michael, please be here. Or if I felt like, oh, the energy of the parish should be here, then that's what happens. Sobrang unpredictable niya. Even I am surprised at what happens during group healing sessions and even most especially kapag one-on-one sessions talaga of initiation. Sobrang kakaiba siya.
Oo, tapos I've been to like 3 different full moon ritual, full moon new moon activation, attunement. But every time talaga, it's different. Tapos I understand what you're saying that all of the goddesses, they have personality. Like with Goddess L, it's a different thing that was activated for me. It's about my body, sexuality. With Athena, when you activated it, us to Athena, like I'm strategic to begin with, but a lot of plans came up during that time that you activated us with Athena. With Artemis, it's about letting go. And it was like the end of the year when you have so many things that you'd like to like dapat na reach mo yung target.
And that's exactly what I require. Parang, oh nga, you know what? Just let go of the with the targets and be with your inner child and release. And I was like, wow. And exactly what's interesting there is I receive exactly what I require, but the other participants they receive also exactly what they require. Parang iba-iba kami. We receive different things, even if
Yeah.
it's the same activation. And I feel like, oh my gosh, that's so magical. That it's a group activation, but it's still very individualized.
Exactly. Kasi again, we require so many different things, and these higher beings, the deities, they have a higher understanding compared to us. So, they know what to give you. Kumbaga, kung papaambunan ka nila ng blessings, it's gonna be customized for you. Even if I'm the one who was invoking them, summoning them, and initiating the students to them, my experience might be similar or even totally different to theirs. So that's the fun in that.
And it's really interesting. And like, I think everything relates to your story when you were 11 years old. Like, because you're saying when you were 11 years old, you felt connected to the sun, the moon, the earth. And now,
Eight. I
I
was
eat pa
eight. That's it.
ba? Like,
When
connected
I
to
was
everything.
11, yeah, when I was 11, that's when I started reading the cards for my personal use.
Wow. But now it's the same thing. Like now, like when you said alchemize, it felt like, yeah, you connect, for example, this goddess activation. It's not simply a goddess activation. To be honest, you also call on other celestial beings like the seraphims, the angels, and then you connected it to the moon. Because like you said, it's a good time to manifest. It's a good time to actualize your
Mhm.
aspiration. So, and then
Right.
you're bringing it to the community, to group of people, and like it felt like your experience when you were 8 years old. You're bringing it to us. You're sharing that experience to everybody now. Like you're the vessels. Really beautiful. If you have questions for Krish, please let me know. But Krish will be having the moon god activation this time for expansion and abundance. So if you would like that for yourself for 2024, we're inviting you. It's going to be next Friday. That's January oh, 26th. We change that. Yeah, for the god activation. So there. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell them? What else will they receive, Krish, during the
Yeah, so there will be some collective oracle reading, and there will be energy healing for the group. It's about balancing your chakras and whatever is also going to be required by the collective. So, surprise siya actually kasi even I wouldn't know kung ano pa yung ibang mga icha-channel ko at that time. So, it's gonna be really special. And syempre, we will be connecting with God too. So, we will also be holding a ritual for Him. For those of you who will be joining, you will be preparing some tools. You will be creating an altar so that you also invite His energy in your space. And we will be also doing some scripting and journaling for our wishes, what we wanted to manifest for this year.
Yeah. Krish, I will share something with you. Remember, we did activation for some of the spaces that we use. I just learned a week ago that parang isang space we use, parang something to do with one time, but with using that space all the time, um, when we come there, it has been safe for us. Like, and I feel like one of the things that helped because he always clears space whenever we're there. Is that of course there's the personal space clearance, but just the fact that we're doing a lot of healing things in that space, I feel like that's protecting that space. Kasi right now wala nang reports of that area not safe for people and yeah.
So it really depends because for space clearing, mas maganda if you have something that is more neutral like Reiki, just the universal life force in clearing the spaces because it is an intelligent energy that only knows love and light. That's it. It doesn't judge. It's just love and light. So when you are using Reiki to, for example, cleanse the space, it just gives it love and light. Okay, so for that purpose, mas maganda you have that modality. But if you want the help of the deities, pwede rin naman yun. But again, it depends sinong deity yan. Kasi I will give you an example ha, kung paano yung roles nila. So, again, I will go back to my student earlier who was also to the light goddess Lilith essence. And ang gusto niya sanang intention one day was, Goddess Lilith, can you help me with my studies in school? She's a college student. And Goddess Lilith was like, no. Sabi niya, okay. Na-feel na niya yung hesitance ni Goddess Lilith. Kasi nga, parang na-feel niya parang ayaw daw. Parang hindi. Parang call somebody else. So, nagpa-attune siya sa akin with God Thoth. Yun naman, si God Thoth is the god, Egyptian god of mathematics, alchemy, astronomy, writings, being a scribe, and all that. And so sabi ko sa kanya, kasi ganito yan, the personality of Goddess Lilith is like that party girl. Walang inhibitions, very confident about who she is. She enjoys, she has pleasure, and is unapologetic about that, diba? And if you will tell this woman to please help me study, it's like, parang calling a party girl to help you study, parang what? So it's not aligned, right? And so when she working with God Thought naman, ay mas okay, parang na-feel niya, ay parang may structure, maayos, nakakapagsulat siya.
Oh,
So,
Krisha, ako, parang kang download. Remember the Matrix, the movie? When Neo, they can just download anything in Neo's hand. Is it
yeah.
somehow like, that's what's coming off for me when you're talking about the goddess. And it's very specific. Is it something like that? When you
That's
say,
an interesting observation. Maybe it's gonna be like that too. Ako, hindi ko naisip siya na to illustrate it like that. Hindi ko siya naisip na gano'n. Interesting na. Oo nga, parang I just get it, you know? But, yeah. It requires, again, ano kasi, parang, it, ano ko ba explain? It needs you to be in a pure state of consciousness to be able to channel and be initiated by them. Just like when Dr. Mikao Uzui channeled and got initiated to Reiki. You know the story in level
yeah,
1. It's kind of like that. Very
uh-oh.
potent.
Yeah, and I realize what it does for you is it brings you up to a high frequency. And because you go up to a high frequency because of these initiations and activations, that's when you get to actualize things. Kasi you pump up high, you're higher, you're in a higher level. And at that point, you talk about this a lot of times. You attract na lang. You don't chase things.
Yes. Kasi parang you become one with the universe talaga when you are increasing your frequency, diba?
Right. So I guess again, this is a tool for you to try that. If you're asking for more, sometimes because a lot of us may sometimes have a tendency to be in the drama of things, to look at where you are. So if you like to ask for help, to go to vibe higher, to ask for higher frequency. So yeah, this is one of the tools that we use. And if you notice with Krish, you're not just getting the full moon ritual. You're not just getting how God activation happens. It also comes with seraphim, celestial beings, and it's like you said, she puts all of her tools together and for the full moon activation. So there. Hopefully you can join us and try. I've been doing it so many times since last year, but I always look forward every month to like what is that? What's going to happen? Because it's always a different flavor. And I feel like it's like having somebody at your corner. Like, alam mo, you have backing. Di ba in this world, if you feel like you're connected to somebody powerful, I'm sorry, but just for me, if I know somebody powerful, if I, for example, I know, I know that, like, if I ask him for work, and I just call him, I feel like so confident, like, that, I'm gonna just ask him. So I'm thinking you're giving us a lifeline. That's what you're doing for us. You're
Yeah.
giving us a lifeline to the dreamers.
Yes, yes. Saka, syempre, when you are being activated, yung healing energies within your body, within your etheric field, tapos deity yung gumagawa para sa'yo, sobrang potent niya talaga. As in, like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, people told me, it's very potent. So, I also trust kasi that those who are willing to receive it, those who are ready to be in that frequency, sila yung pupunta sa atin. Like, we don't even have to, kumbaga, to try so hard or to worry about things anymore. Kasi ako, when it comes to things like this, rituals and whatever, I no longer focus on the numbers. I'm just, yeah, everybody is welcome to join. But you have to be ready. That's it. You have to be willing to be in that space. And if you're willing to receive it, and if you want to utilize that opportunity, then it's gonna bless you. There's gonna be a lot of things awaiting you. But if you're not yet ready for its potency, then that's fine. Then you're not gonna get it. That's simple.
And it's really magical, I tell you. I've been to so many
Yeah.
attunements, activations. It's really, really magical. And I hope you get to experience that. And I think it's different if you have somebody who really works with them. Like, I don't know, and I mean, I read up on them, but I don't know how to like channel or to connect. And Krish has that specialization. Like, she can connect you to the gods and goddesses just like just like in a click. Though of course she studied, but it's so fast for her because she studied it for so long. So it's like you have, yeah, a channeler for you doing that for you. And I feel that's what the facilitator's role is. Like, you can lift up. Like, if we're here and the deities are there, you're like the mediator. You're like in the in between, and then you bring everybody up to a higher plane. And if you'd like to experience what we're talking about, again, we'd like to invite you to the full moon god activation. And we're working with the god of the gods, God Zeus, if you want to experience abundance, expansion. Wow, I can't, yeah, can't wait. So yeah, that's going to be next week.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited about it to share his energy with you. Like, I don't know what to expect. Actually, kahit ako, kaya mangyayari. Kasi, syempre, it's different when I channel him alone. And it's gonna be different if I channel him for a collective. So, let's see.
Yeah, and it's all our energies playing together. So if you'd like to play with us, please join us. This full moon god Zeus activation, and everyone, anyone from anywhere in the world can join us because it's going to be live via Zoom. Of course, we have recordings, but it will be nice if you can join us in the group because it's different with a collective and group. And you should see the testimonials of the people who joined the Goddess of Peace activation. It's so different. For each, it's the same activation, but everyone receive what they require. Really. So it's interesting what will happen for God. Any parting words for everybody, Krish, to end?
Again, we're inviting you on January 26 for our full moon ritual for God Zeus activation. So it's gonna be very intense. And for those of you who also wanna learn another energy healing modality for transmuting negative energy, turning it into a positive one, balancing your chakras with harmony and ease, you can also join my class, Art and Shell, Etheric Light Body Healing class. So it's going to be held on January 25, 7 to 9:30 p.m. So it's going to be attunements to the celestial energies for energy healing and energetic transmutation. So yeah, I'm just bringing it out there, sharing it to everyone because it's another channeled modality naman. So it's not working with the deities, but the celestial energy. So it's gonna be so special, and I hope to see you guys there.
We'll put the links down below, of course. a lot of you know Krish Rai already. You can follow her Instagram, um, Krisheela Rai, and Facebook, also Astral Crystals. But we'll put all the links down below. But thank you, Krish, for this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. And we'll see you in the full moon meditation, full moon God activation. And see you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye bye.